Interesting. Okay. One more card. We have 4 more. Should I take it? Okay, I'll take that. So we have the Lovers. Fell out in reverse. Did that somersault thing. Very intentional. And I don't know if you noticed as the viewer, but the Lovers fell out and it took some time for other cards to fall out. So there is something very central and important about this. The Lovers showing up in reverse. And then after that, we have the 5 of Wands. And then we have 4 cards that fell out face down in turns. Temperance, the King of Cups, Death, the 4 of Wands. Wow. What are we saying here? I'm receiving... okay, I want to say the word masculine, but I don't know why that's... I don't think it's too important. Just hold on a second. Okay, I feel like I'm reading from the angle of a masculine or from the angle of somebody who's part of a connection that's currently on the rocks, specific message, between someone who tends to be emotionally codependent and another who is more emotionally stable. This is somebody that this is an archetype that I'm sure many of us have seen, even in movies, where one person is just more stable than the other. And while there's a lot of love between them and they've gone through a lot together, like they have a long journey behind them. They can say that they've been through a lot of things together. It seems like I'm feeling into someone reaching a crossroad in this connection and finally deciding to no longer be the emotionally stable one, or rather someone needing to realize how their emotional stability is the rock of a connection. The reason this connection is working out, I'm trying to find different words to phrase this, is because this person was projecting their sense of home into a connection when actually that sense of home was something they have within them. They've cultivated it within themselves. This is also someone in a codependent relationship with someone who thinks that codependency is an act of love, but it's not. It's a sign that that person is unable to function on their own. And maybe this point that you're reaching in the journey is to sort of take yourself out of what seems to be a very toxic equation of someone constantly sourcing emotional stability, self-confidence, all of the things that you could source from outside, from someone else. They're sourcing it from someone else instead of sourcing it from their own self. This is also someone who needs to learn the lesson of individuality in a relationship by really becoming an individual. And I'm not so much getting that the relationship needs to end. I'm not getting that it needs to end. Okay. Beneath the deck, we have Strength and Temperance. I'm not getting that it needs to end. I'm getting that, wow. I like the visual here of how the angels, so these 2 angels, they carry on to each other, right? The angel is docile, preparing things, and then the day of judgment comes. The angel's eyes are closed, they're docile, then the eyes are active. And the universal gong strikes. I think this is also something, it's also worth noting that whatever's happening here is really beyond your control. If this is a situation that you resonate with, then know that at the very least. I'm feeling a push and pull inside someone about whether or not to provide compassion, exercise compassion or empathy, versus like the feeling or thoughts I'm getting is how far do I go in caring for myself? I care for this person, but it's starting to look a lot like I care for them more than I care for myself. How can I balance this? How can I start caring for myself more? This could also reflect in a friendship, where someone is just consistently available for somebody who's not in a good place. And that constant availability is starting to weigh down on you too, as the person who's constantly available for that person. I may even be reading for the codependent person, bearing in mind that we all have those two archetypes within us. As in, somebody who believes they're independent probably has a codependency in them, and vice versa. Where you think you really think that you can't live without this person, but you can. And maybe you might need to learn how to do so. I've had this experience happen dramatically and quite literally through death, where I was in relationship with someone and I was sure that them dying would mean that I wouldn't be able to. There was no possibility beyond their death because I couldn't imagine it, because it just wasn't possible for me to be without them. But it turns out that their death was the very lesson that brought me into individuality and understanding how strong I am. That might be the case for you too. Going through a kind of relationship separation or de-escalation where it seems like you two are not, you and this other person, you're not in the same place that you used to be. And you have to accept that chances are that you will not return to what was before, but you can still make a new. Will you? Will you decide to make a new? This is also up to the other person. Will they meet you halfway? Because that also has to happen with a lot of relationships. You can't, connections, you obviously you can't force someone to do what you want them to do. You just have to hope that they do what they do. You just have to hope that their behavior and your behavior match frequency at the same time, and that you grow at the same time, and etc. This is a relationship reaching the turning point of wondering whether or not there is growth. But I think that the growth can be considered solely in the person, the individual. Try to stop looking at yourself as such an intrinsic part of this union that you can't see yourself as yourself. It feels like someone has forgotten their ability to be a person, but to be emotionally grounded as a person. This frequency of codependency doesn't want to leave me. Like a panic when so there's person A who's extremely emotionally vulnerable, and person B who is quite stable. And I'm getting this urgency from person A, the constant, that's sense of panic is so huge. That's what I'm receiving by looking at these cards. The sense of panic and lack of emotional stability that person A feels within themselves, that they project and source from person B. That is going to be dealt with. It's not just a need, it's going to happen. So take heed. Be aware that if you are codependent, or if you are involved with someone who is codependent as you're watching this reading, something about that is going to start buzzing. Tension. Be aware of it. Apply compassion, but remember to apply compassion for the self in the meantime. And know that everything unfolding is happening. It's happening. It's happening as it should. Yeah, trust that, I guess. This might also show up as you saying things like I'm seeing a conflict feeling. I'm feeling actually a conflict between two people, and one person keeps saying the wrong thing, and the other person keeps taking it the wrong way, and it just keeps blowing up. And it's like I'm getting what the one person's despondency or resignation to just like, why does this, what's wrong? Why does this keep going wrong? Like, why am I not being understood? Why am I not getting through to this person who I'm supposed to love? This is supposed to be a moment of love and care. Why does it have so much conflict in it? Accept it. Move through it, steady pace, Accept your reaction, accept their reaction. Trust in the love that is there, but most importantly, trust in the love that you have for yourself. Cultivate that if you don't know what that looks like by now. There's a lot of nuances that happen in self-love because it does involve the relationship with the soul. It involves a relationship with your inner world. And because this is a general reading, I can't tap into what the specifics are about your inner world, but know that that place in you is getting handled. Yeah, it's getting handled. Go with the flow. Perfect time to go with the flow. And be willing to let go. If you face the potential of a breakup or a potential of eternal conflict with someone who you were sure you would love forever and you'd be in each other's lives forever, if you're facing a turning point, find yourself facing a turning point with you and this person where it's like, I don't know if I'm going to be, I don't know if the future that I thought I had with this person is going to be. Accept it. Accept the possibility of that. This would be a great time to have a conversation with a Plutonian or Scorpionic person. We're very good at accepting the endings of things because we were forced into it. So we know the lesson of needing to let go of even the thing that you couldn't have imagined you would ever have to let go of. Be open to letting go of that, but know that you will be replenished. What leaves will be replaced with something better. That is the abundance of this universe. The abundant promise. That is a truth. Whatever leaves is meant to leave. I'm going to close the reading there. This left me in very intense spirits. Yeah, it's very intense energy. But you will survive, and I mean, this is pretty much the theme. I'm recording this during a Mercury retrograde, so unsurprising that this is the message that comes up. I really send my love to you if this resonated, whichever side you're on, however way this resonated with you. Stand strong through the lessons and stay connected to yourself. I'll see you in the next reading.